John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today is show you guys how Omega made the TWN30 juicer even better. And what we have today is the Omega TWN30S, and if you guys are longtime subscribers, which I do encourage you guys to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button right down below so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. I don't know, probably like 6 months ago maybe, I had a video on the TWN30S. Actually, she in the video made some recommendations to Omega, and guess what? They followed through. So they made the TWN even better in 3 ways, actually. So the first way is, besides only offering the juicer in silver, they now offer it in this nice, snazzy red color. And I know the red is an in color in many kitchens these days, so you might like that red color. The second way they made it better is now, if you look on the box, it says right here, now includes a blank screen or a homogenizing screen. This is the attachment that I said in the original video they should have came out with at the get-go. I mean, it's not that hard to do, and I'm glad they did this because now they make this machine even more useful for you guys, because now, in addition to just making fresh juices, you can make baby food for your babies or for elderly people that maybe can't chew their food at a really slow and low RPM to minimally damage the phytonutrients in the food, versus like a high-speed blender that runs at multitudes higher RPM and will reduce the phytonutrient content of the food, which in turn, based on studies that show, will reduce the overall benefit, so say like anti-cancer benefit of the food you're processing. Now, besides making the baby food, grinding up food, so people that don't like to chew, you can also make frozen fruit sorbets. This is huge for those of you guys that are, trying to lose weight, get on a healthier diet, right? Ice cream, man, I'll tell you, ice cream was one of my vices when I was younger. I would get like a whole, whatever, quart-size ice cream, open it up after I eat my dinner, and I'd go in and just one spoonful at a time. It'd be gone. I'd eat it all. It's so delicious. But ice cream, when I was growing up, I mean, they still had additives in there, but now they even got more additives, preservatives, food dyes, food colors, and monodiglycerides, and GMO corn syrup, and all kinds of stuff you don't want to be eating, including the dairy, which may cause mucus in many people, as it did with me. Also, it's very high calorie, very sweet, very high in sugar. And a better alternative that you pretty much won't even miss the ice cream that you can now make in the Omega TWN juicers is the frozen fruit sorbets. So the most popular of which is the frozen banana, quote-unquote, ice cream. It's not really ice cream. It's one ingredient, 100% frozen bananas, but it comes out and it tastes like that frozen yogurt consistency. Bananas, if you get them ripe, are really sweet, and it just tastes so good. And you can mix in banana blueberry or banana strawberry, or you could do peach banana, or you could do mango sorbet. I mean, totally a lot of new options now have opened up because Omega is now including that blank strainer. Now, besides the frozen fruit sorbets, you could also do something very high in protein, the nut butters. So with the blank attachment that is now included with the TWN juicers, you'll now be able to make your own nut butters, whether that's roasted peanut butter or other raw nut butters. You'll be able to grind up nuts. Now, if there's a high enough oil content, the ground up mixture will stick together, make a nut butter. And if the oil content is not high enough in the nuts you are grinding, the Omega TWN30 is so powerful it's going to grind it up into a flour, in which case you're going to have to add a little bit of oil, whether that's almond oil to your ground up almond meal to make almond butter, or whether you're going to use some coconut oil. Add some oil, it'll get at the top, congeal and stick together, and it's going to be totally delicious. And this way you could make and process more of the foods you guys eat at home, instead of buying pre-made, packaged, and bottled foods that you don't know how they were processed or what ingredients were added into it to act as a preservative. Because once you start processing foods, whether that's fruits or vegetables or frozen fruits or even the nuts, right, you break open the tender cell walls, which releases the nutrition to air, which causes oxidation, which causes in turn the food to go bad. So process things yourself at home to have better taste, higher quality, and more nutrition. And it's all possible with the Omega TWN30. Now, the third way Omega has made the Omega TWN30 even better, right? If these two ways weren't good enough, having a red and that homogenizing blank plate, they took $100 off the price. So now at Discount Juicers, we have the new lower price, including that blank plate for you guys. This machine is now available at the lower price. Other retailers, I'm giving you guys fair warning, may not have this price decreased yet, and most retailers are not going to have that blank screen to be included with the machine. So if you do buy the machine, you know, I do encourage you guys to support me and my work so I can continue to make these videos for you guys. And you're going to get the, you know, latest models with the latest attachments and the latest improvements, because we sell so many machines. You know, we turn our inventory very quickly, so we're always getting the latest and greatest new shipments from the manufacturers to ship out to you, because many manufacturers, you know, what they're going to do is if they see a problem, they'll actually correct the problem, and then their next run of juicers, they'll have an improved model. And, you know, maybe these are just small incremental changes, but if, you know, you go and buy your juicer from a company that doesn't sell so many juicers, they may have stock from a year ago or 6 months ago. In many cases, we have the latest stock and are getting you the, you know, the newest equipment with the latest upgrades. So in any case, what I'd like to do in this video for you guys is share with you guys more about the TWN30S. Not only is it a juicer, but it'll also, as I said, homogenize, make baby foods and nut butters and sorbets. I thought I'd do one of the most important things for you guys is actually make a juice. You know, a green juice, which is the most beneficial green juice in my opinion, you guys should be making on a regular basis. It's sad that most Americans simply just do not eat enough fruits and vegetables, and most Americans especially do not eat enough of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, the leafy green vegetables that have the most amount of disease-preventative phytonutrients in it as compared to calories, compared to any other food in the entire world. My goal every day is to eat 2 pounds of leafy greens, and the Omega TWN30 or 30R is a juicer that will allow you to get those greens into you in a really easy to digest format. Now before I make a juice today, what I'd like to do is go ahead and unbox one of these TWN30s to show you guys all the parts that included, including the new parts, and more specifically how this juicer works, because it's very different than most of the other juicers out there. So now we're going to go ahead and unbox the all-new TWN30R, which is the red model, and share with you guys what's included in the juicer, with the juicer. And let's see here. Okay, inside you got a couple things. You got the instruction manual and owner's guide. I do encourage you guys to read this. In addition, you have a little warning page that talks about using the blank cone. Make sure you remove the adjustable pressure cap and just take that off so that the cone works properly. Also, you know, Omega is there to help you guys. Now, it may take you a couple times to call Omega, and if you guys, you know, get a machine, I encourage you guys to actually hang up and call back to get somebody live, and they'll be able to help you out. And then you get your warranty card. So this is very important. You know, fill out your warranty card as soon as you get it. You could actually mail in the warranty card that comes with the machine, or you could go to the Omega website and register your warranty online and save your guys self a stamp. Now, the Omega TWN30 series of machines has a 15-year warranty, which is the longest warranty that is offered in the juicing industry. And I admire Omega for offering this long a warranty. What this warranty means for you is that means you will have a juicer that will work for the next 15 years, you know, based on manufacturer's defects. So, you know, if you drop the machine, you break it, you crack your gear, and it's your fault, it's not going to be covered under warranty. But if you're just juicing wheatgrass or carrots or, you know, apples or oranges, and the juicer malfunctions and breaks, right, that would be considered a warranty claim, in which case you would get a hold of Omega, let them know what's going on, and then they will actually either repair or replace the machine or the parts so that you can continue to juice. Think about it. Think of your iPhone, like every time it just messes up, not because you dropped it, but just because of some other reason, right? The battery went out after 5 years, right? Apple would give you a new battery. They don't do that, right? They got a short warranty on those iPhones, right? Try to think of any other kitchen appliance that has a long 15-year warranty, or even a warranty more than 1 or 3 years. It's amazing that you know, Omega does this, and it's so that you have confidence in their product, because they're making you know, juicers for, you know, one of the oldest U.S. established companies selling juicers in the U.S. market for a long time. And they're here to stay, and they're here to let you guys know that they make quality products and here to support them too. So yeah, 15-year warranty. All right, let's pull this baby out, see what we got. All right, I do want to admire Omega for their new packaging. You know, it looks like they're no longer using styrofoam inside the box. They just have basically all this nice cardboard material. So all this is recyclable, so I do encourage you guys to recycle it or compost it. And here's the beautiful red model here. And this is like a pearl red. It's not just a standard red color. Kind of like sparkling. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Let's see. Let's go ahead and open some of these other boxes inside here. So inside the machine, you're also going to get that blank cone. And that's what looks like this. It's basically like it has an opening with a stainless steel that's solid with no holes. In addition, we're going to go through here and we got the next one. And this one actually has the large holes, so that's the core screen. This is for use if you want to put more pulp in your juice. Next, of course, we have the catch containers. So we have a pulp catch container and we have your juice catch container. I'm glad that Omega is also including a little sieve or a screen so you can minimize the pulp in the juice that you're creating if you don't want to drink any kind of extra pulp in your juice. Some people like it, some people don't. It's totally a preference thing in my opinion. Let's see, next over on this side of the box we got a lot of cool stuff. Alright, so over here we got our tool to take the juicer apart. We got a special cleaning brush and we have the plastic pusher. And then over here we got the main juicer body. So this is the heart of the machine. This is how the machine works. This style machine is known as a twin gear juicer. So this is different than all the other Omega machines. Omega makes virtually all the different types of juicers on the market, from a centrifugal non-ejection machine, which I actually don't recommend, to a centrifugal ejection style machine, which is a fast style machine, which is not my favorite either, to the slow juicers. And in the slow juicer category, they have 3 different kinds of machines to meet all your guys' needs. They have my favorite, the vertical single auger machine, and that's the kind that I use most. It's most versatile on fruits and vegetables and, you know, leafy greens. It does them all fairly well. It doesn't do wheatgrass so well though, unless you pre-cut them. But overall it does pretty well. It's pretty quick to use, easy to use. And then we got the horizontal single auger style machine. This style is the best if you want to juice things like wheatgrass and sprouts. It's going to get the highest yield and do phenomenal at juicing those items. It'll also juice things like carrots and will juice fruits when you're juicing vegetables, but juicing fruits alone in a horizontal auger style machine, it tends to get clogged up. So with the Omega TWN30S, it will juice, you know, fruits and vegetables, sprouts and leafy greens to varying degrees of success. So for example, you know, leafy greens and sprouts and wheatgrass, this machine is going to do really well on. It's also going to do really well on things like the hard vegetables like carrots and beets. It's going to get the pulp amazingly dry. Now with the fruits, you know, fresh fruits, it's going to generally back up. It's not going to juice straight fruits all that well, but if you're mixing in an apple or some oranges or pineapple in with your vegetable juice, you know, and you're alternating carrots and other things or celery, it's going to do a great job. So that's where this machine really shines. In addition, because of its low RPM, 160 RPM and 2+ peak horsepower after gear reduction, it can tear through and really get high yields. And in some cases, you know, more than the single auger style machines, especially when juicing lots of carrots and root vegetables. This machine will be superior in yield to those style machines. So the last thing in the box right here, this is probably my favorite part in the whole box. It's a wood pusher. So this is the pusher I prefer to use instead of the plastic pusher to push my food into the juicer. Now this is wood. This is a food grade quality, like cutting board wood, and it generally doesn't, you know, grate up if you push into the machine. That being said, I'm glad that Omega is now announcing that this machine is BPA free for all the parts that touch the food. So this is very important to some of you guys out there. So I'm glad they're actually making this claim on the box now. Alright, so the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and get this machine assembled, show you guys how easy it is to assemble, disassemble the machine, and then we're going to go ahead and get into juicing. So now I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to assemble the Omega TWN30S. Now I do encourage you guys to pay attention to this video if you are assembling your juicer for the first time, or minimally read the instruction book, because it's important you get it right. If you do not assemble the machine properly, you may damage the expensive gears, and then if you damage them, they'll not be covered under warranty. So the first thing I want you guys to do when you get the main housing that actually comes assembled, you're going to want to disassemble it. So the main way to do that is you're just going to go ahead and take this front cap here, and you just turn it, and it actually just comes off, and it's just a little retaining ring. And then this part pulls out, and this part is two parts. It contains the what I call the outlet adjusting knob, which we're pulling out right here. And this outlet adjusting knob has a little spring tensioner in there. What this does, let's see if we can push this back with my thumb. Yeah, it's a pretty good tension on there. Yeah, it's a good thumb workout device. But what that tensioner does, it keeps pressure on the pulp inside the machine to make sure it's fully dried out. And when it's dry, then the spring tension gives to let the dry pulp out. Otherwise, it keeps tension on the pulp so that the the wet pulp stays in the machine, so you get further extraction from it. This works really good on things like leafy greens, celery, hard vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, things like this. But this works poorly when juicing fruits. So if you are juicing fruits like straight without the vegetables, I do encourage you guys, instead of screwing this all the way in like you will do with vegetables and wheatgrass and whatnot, you're going to want to basically either just screw it in like 2 turns, or completely remove it altogether when juicing straight fruits, for better results. Not to say that this is still going to do an amazing job with fruits, just due to the way it operates. It really needs some hard, fibrous material to work properly. Once again, juicing fruits with your vegetables at the same time and rotating the items you're putting in, not going to be a problem. So yeah, that's these 2 parts. Next we have the twin gears right here. These are what makes the machine work, and these are unique. These ones do not have the magnetic or far infrared as some twin gear juicers have. So some people like that feature, some people don't like that feature. This one does not have that. These are stainless steel gears with a BPA-free, I believe, nylon style plastic. And the most important thing on the gears is, on one of the gears you're going to see like 2 little red dots, and on the other gear you're going to see 1 little red dot on the end. And you're going to want to make a little triangle out of these red dots. So the one that has the 2 dots, you want to put the single dot between it so that they're all lined up. If you just hodgepodge and mix up your gears any old way, the gears are not aligned properly, and you may damage the gears if you operate the machine without properly aligning the gears before setting it up. Now, on this machine, there's 2 main stages of the juicing. The first stage is the grinding, where you will put the produce into the gears, and on leafy greens and wheatgrass, they're literally going to get sucked in without you having to push them in, so it's going to be like auto feeding. On things like carrots, you're going to have to push the carrots in the gear, and then it's going to grind off a little bit at a time, and that's going to get a really fine consistency pulp. And that's one of the reasons why this machine gets higher yields than others, because it does grind up things to a much finer particulate and particle size. As the produce works its way down the gear, they have these pocket recessed teeth. These pocket recessed teeth break up the fibers. So for example, the fibers in the celery, the long strings that may jam up and clog some juicers, these pocket recessed teeth will grind up those strings so that they come out in small little bits. After it goes to the grinding stage, which is the first half of these, or maybe 3/4 of the gear, it goes to the last quarter of the gear, and this is the mixing and pressing stage. So the produce is now mixed, and then it's pressed and wrung out, and then all the juice comes out the screen. And that brings me to the screen assembly here. So this is screen assembly. The gears sit in this clear screen so you can kind of see what's going on. And then as the produce is pressed on that last section, it is wrung out these little small holes in the screen. And sometimes if you're juicing a lot of things, you may need to take the screen out in the middle of juicing, because the screen will get clogged with pulp. This generally only happens if you're juicing like large quantities at once. Like, I generally won't open the machine to take the screen out unless I'm juicing like more than 32 ounces in one sitting, or I'm juicing like all carrots. Things like leafy greens don't tend to clog the screen up so much, but if you're using like a lot of carrots and beets, the fibers in those hard vegetables tend to clog the screen up a little bit more. Now, even though if you look at it, you think the screen is clogged, it is still working and liquids are still coming out despite it looking clogged. It's also going to be pushing out some pulp in the juice if the screen gets clogged as well, so be aware of that. Now, the last part of this is the main juicing body with the funnel that is removable on the top. So to assemble this, you're going to take the main juicing body. There's a little ring that goes to close and open. We're going to slide it to the open side, and we're just going to go ahead and slide that in, slide it to close. It's going to be nice and a tight fit. Then we're going to go ahead and take that funnel, put it right on top, no big deal. Then we're going to go ahead and take the screen housing, and we're going to go ahead and put this in the machine. So the screen housing has like an opening. This opening is always facing up. This opening needs to correspond with the spout where you put the food in. So it just basically goes in just like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and take our gears, make sure our dots are lined up properly, and the gear with the little nub on the end of it that sticks out, protrudes, is going to go on the side, not where the Omega sticker is. So that's the side closest to me in this case. We're just going to shove it in there, and then once we get it to the back, you may need to just gently turn the gears a little bit to get it to line up, and then they set all the way back, and then you'll see, you know, all this is in the same plane, and it's all recessed nicely. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this cap that actually holds the front part of the gears, keeps them in place. You want to put this one where it says up, so it's going to be up. Put that right in place, really good, real simple. Then we just take our retaining ring, put it on here, and you're just going to close it to lock, and it actually screws towards me in this instance. Finally, we're going to take the outlet adjusting knob, put that in there, and screw it all the way in tight because we'll be juicing some vegetables today. And that's all there is to assemble this machine. Super simple, super easy. I do like this style twin gear juicer for one main reason is because, you know, the whole assembly is located in here. They have these gaskets, so, you know, it's not supposed to leak onto the motor shaft housing. Their twin gear machines like juices and all this stuff kind of get up in the motor gear housing and can be pain to clean. So Omega's actually made the twin gear design even better by making it easier to clean at the end by just having to clean these parts here, which there's actually not too many parts to clean. The screen will be the hardest part to clean, so I do recommend and encourage you guys to use a special cleaning brush that is included with the machine. It's going to help you dislodge all the pulp more effectively than any other tool I found because it has actually nice, firm, hard nylon bristles. Alright, the next thing I like to do is like to get juicing in the Omega TWN30R. It stands for red. So now I'm ready to juice in the Omega TWN30R. We're all set up. We got the juicer set up. You guys saw how to assemble it. And now we got all the produce that's prepped out. I'll be making a green juice today, and I encourage you guys to start your day off with a green juice. It's way better than any kind of breakfast you would be eating. I mean, think about it. The word breakfast. We break that down. What does it mean? Break fast. It's two words. You're breaking your fast. You're fasting when you're sleeping because you're not eating, hopefully for the last 8 hours, maybe 10 hours or something like that, right? And right when we wake up, we don't want to just, blast in, bacon and eggs and coffee. These things, in my opinion, are really not the best for us. They take a lot of energy for our body to digest and extract the energy out of. So this is really not a good way to break your fast. My dad actually did a water fast at this place in California called the True North Health Center, and he water fasted for 30 days. And especially if you're doing a 30-day water fast, I only encourage you guys to do it supervised. You have to break your fast on something really easy, because if he went to bacon and eggs, he'd probably lose his life because that's too hard to digest after not eating for 30 days. Anyways, they broke his fast on watermelon juice, right? And likewise, when you guys fast for 8 to 10 hours every night after you're sleeping, you wake up, don't break your fast with bacon and eggs. Break your fast with a juice. It's the easiest thing in the world to digest. So here's the thing. Juices have a bountiful amount of phytochemicals and phytonutrients, also vitamins and minerals. and also the carbohydrates, right? And in addition, because we're removing the fiber, that's what the juicer does, our body can now easily absorb the nutrients from the juices to bring that into us so we can get the benefits of the fruits and the vegetables without having to expend all the work of our digestion to get the nutrients out. So if you guys don't make any other changes in your life, from watching this video, I do encourage you guys to just juice fresh vegetables with a little bit of fruit to make it taste good in the morning. Just doing that alone, you will see a difference in your life after, as short as 30 to 60 days. I mean, you can be breaking your fast. Your body is going to thank you for it. So anyways, the things I'll be juicing today is I got about 500 grams, or that's like 8 point something ounces, 8.8 ounces maybe, of leafy greens out of my garden, including things like collard greens, and I got these little baby Brussels sprouts here, basically all kinds of different greens. And the greens that I'm juicing today are the cruciferous family of greens. The cruciferous family of greens, for those of you guys that don't know, include things like cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, arugula, bok choy, kohlrabi, kale, collards. Did I say that? But all the cruciferous family of plants contain properties in them, isothiocyanates, which are actually anti-cancerous in their natural raw state and are activated when the cells are crushed from raw cruciferous vegetables in the juicer. And then in addition to the greens, which my goal is to get 2 pounds in every day, this is almost a quarter of that easily. I could easily put a pound in here. We got some other things. We got some celery. So the celery is rich in electrolytes. Also, it adds a mild neutral flavor to your juice. This is especially important if you're beginning. You're going to want to put a lot more celery. I only use three stalks today. A lot of celery compared to a little leafy greens, especially some of these cruciferous greens. They can taste really quite strong if you're not used to drinking them. I'm quite used to it, so it's all right. The other thing we're juicing, we got 2 organic apples. Now, very important when selecting apples to juice in any slow juicer, whether that's a TWN30S or R, you want to get hard, firm apples. Especially this time of year, the apples that are being sold in the stores, for the most part, are from last year's harvest. They've been, stored in cold storage, oxygen-deprived environment, and the apples are getting kind of mealy textured, and they're not going to juice as well when they get old and mealy. You could tell by just pressing on the apple, and if it dents when you press on it, and you're bruising it. Only do this after you buy them, or the produce manager will hate you. It's not going to juice well. So the best apple to juice, if you are just buying apples for juicing, are the Granny Smith apples. They tend to keep their texture longer, even if they are more older. That being said, I always encourage you guys to get the freshest produce to juice and get the hardest, firmest apples that your store has available. I don't juice any particular variety of apple because I know there's so many. I get the one that's on sale or the Granny Smith, depending on the cheapest price, right? So we got some apples. Oh, and then also we have some cucumbers. Cucumbers, they are a fruit, not a vegetable, because actually they contain seeds. They're related to the melons, so watermelons and cantaloupes. And I love the cucumbers because, once again, kind of like the celery, they add a nice watery consistency to dilute something like the leafy greens that can have a strong flavor. In addition, they're rich in chlorophyll, as seen by the green skin. Pick out nice, dark, rich, green cucumbers whenever you guys can for more chlorophyll content, as most of the nutrition in the cucumber is near the skin, and it's sad that most people peel the cucumbers and then eat them. But in the juicer, let the juicer do all the work, and the juicer will extract all the nutrition from the skin, peel, and core of the cucumber. Let's see, next ingredient we're using are the carrots. Carrots are a very popular thing to juice, probably after orange juice, one of the most popular juices consumed in the world today. Carrots are also one of the least expensive vegetables. So pound for pound, dollar for dollar, carrots are going to give you the most nutrition for your buck. In some places I see 25-pound bag of non-organic carrots sell for like $6. That's going to make you guys a lot of juice. Now, carrots are really good in my opinion because they have actually anti-cancer properties, much like the broccoli, but not as powerful as the broccoli or the other cruciferous plants. In addition, they're rich in carotenoids, which are the pigments, the orange pigments, the beta-carotene, which is the provitamin A, And as they say, you know, provitamin A or the beta carotene, it's good for your eyes. As is things like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are in the leafy green vegetables. You don't got to know the names of all these phytochemicals. You just have to get them into you and get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables into you. And the way I like to do that the most is through juicing. Because, you know, I could sit here and eat all these carrots, the cucumber, the celery, the greens. I probably wouldn't have much fun doing it because that's a lot of stuff to eat. But what I could do is I could run this through the juicer. The juicer will take out the fiber, which we can't digest anyway. It'll give me all the liquid nutrition in the juice so our bodies could easily absorb it. And I'll be able to get all these things into me that I might not normally would have eaten. And I know this is very important for a lot of you guys that just simply don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. So this is a way you can concentrate them quickly and easily in your own kitchen. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I'm going to juice today, it's in the bottom here. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is known as the tumeric root. And most grocery stores should sell this. If not, try to visit an ethnic grocery store, such as an Indian grocery store, or you know, some other ethnic grocery stores may have this as well. Middle Eastern, Asian stores commonly have this. The turmeric. The turmeric is the #1 anti-inflammatory vegetable in the whole wide world. Now, I got an email recently from a customer that actually bought an Omega juicer, and they said, "John, the turmeric stained our juicer. Omega needs to replace our juicer under warranty." I scratched my head. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like, you expect Omega to replace your juicer because the turmeric stained it, and they didn't warn you about it. Well, guess what? All the fruits and vegetables have nice, strong pigments. The orange carrots, I like actually purple carrots more. I mean, whatever you're juicing, rich, deep, rich colors. Those are the things that are good for us. Now, you know, when we drink these colors, they're staining our insides, which is a good thing, right? But they may also stain your juicer. And now that's only a cosmetic thing, so don't freak out. And Omega will not be replacing your juicer if you stain it with turmeric. The thing you got to do after you stain your juicer with turmeric is you got to use your juicer a lot more so those stains will go down over time. And be happy if you have a nice stained juicer, because that means you'll be more healthier, you know, than your juicer is. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into juicing today. Now, the main thing I want to let you guys know when juicing in any slow juicer, it's very important to rotate the produce you're putting in there. So, for example, don't put all the carrots, then all the cucumber, then all the apple, then all the celery, then all the greens, right? That'd work out horribly. What you're going to want to do is you're going to take like a leaf of greens, put that in there, a little bit of carrot, you know, cut up a little bit of celery, put it in there, put a little bit of cucumber in there, and continue to rotate. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate for you guys. Let's go ahead and get set up here with the catch cup. We got the juice collector with the screen on there, and we got our wooden pusher here. First, we're going to go ahead and turn this machine on, and I like that this machine runs at a low and slow 160 RPM, so it's fairly quiet, unlike some of those high-speed machines that have been described to me as an airplane taking off in your kitchen. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a leafy green. We can put that right into the machine, and look at that. We put it in there, and it almost gets like sucked right in. Little bit of pressure to push that leafy green into the twin gears. The twin gears instantly grind up that green, turn into mush, and no juice is coming out yet because we're going to have to put in something to follow that. So we're going to put a small diameter carrot in there. Now, I always encourage you guys to put the short end or the thin end of the carrot in first. It's going to be a little bit easier. Now, you know, you will need to use the pusher to push the carrots into the machine. As you guys can see, I'm using like one finger to do that. Now, a thicker diameter carrot is going to take a lot more pressure, so if you're older, have arthritis or problems with your joints or whatever, this may not be the juicer for you. Let's see if I'm able to do it with one finger. Oh, one finger pushing the carrot in. Alright, I pushed the whole carrot in with one finger, so it can't be that hard. Now, this was a thin diameter carrot, right? I would not try that with a thicker diameter carrot. Now, upon juicing instantly, you know, the first few things you'll see out of the part where the pulp comes are a few drops of juice. This is completely normal. It's kind of like getting itself lubricated up, and then after that, then the dry, really micro shred up produce will start coming out, and to me that's impressive. This machine is one of the most impressive machines as to how fine it grinds the produce down. What this means for you is that it's gonna get more juice out for you guys. Let's see, next let's go ahead and put some more leafy greens in there. Look at that, it literally almost sucks the leafy greens right out of my hand. We're going to go ahead and cut the apple up. Now, one of the, you know, cons of the Omega TWN is actually has a 1.5 inch diameter, so that's circular, feed chute. So you will have to cut the produce in to feed in there. But look at that. The apple just went in there like mush. Those gears just tore that up. I'm going to do that again for you guys. Look at that. Put the apple in there, like one finger pushing it in there. It just grinds all that up. Now what you're seeing here in the hopper is all the apple mush that's kind of just sitting there, not moving. It's not really moving its way through. That's because apples are really soft. So for that, we're going to go ahead and follow that with the celery. We're going to just put a little bit of celery in there. We're going to juice the celery on up, and look at that. It just juiced it on up. Really easy to push in there, and now a lot of that juice is coming out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shake down this little strainer so that all the juice could kind of go into the catch cup down below before we get an overload in the strainer situation. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut this turmeric up into half. I want to show you guys a nice vibrant color on the inside here. And that's what turmeric looks like on the inside. This will also stain the machine, so we're just going to go ahead and drop that guy in there, push that in. Turmeric is a root vegetable much like ginger. It's similar to ginger. It's in the same family of plants, but it's totally different. And yeah, we juiced it. Now, after I juice the turmeric, I always like to maybe follow with something like a carrot to get that work through. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and cut this cucumber up. We're going to have to probably cut the cucumber lengthwise into fourths to get this to juice properly. And I think we're going to go ahead and stick one of these little Brussels sprout things in there. Fits right in the feed chute. Shove that right in, juices right up, no problem whatsoever in the Omega TWN. Next, we've got that cucumber. Now we're going to go ahead and push the cucumber in there. It's going in there with some resistance, mainly because it's so soft, so it might be better to cut the cucumber, you know, up in little pieces and just drop little pieces in at a time, and then, put that cucumber in there, a little piece, and then push it in. Much, much easier than trying to put that whole cucumber in there. Now in the original video that I juiced in the Omega TWN, you know, I tried to put wide diameter carrots in there and just power them in there and push them like a man with the pusher. And it was extremely difficult. So I'm going to show you guys a technique to make it a lot easier to juice carrots and other hard, firm vegetables in the TWN. And it's by simply using a knife. That easy, yeah. So they got the carrot here and a knife, and we're going to cut this lengthwise into strips. So be very careful when cutting into strips. We're going to go ahead and take the knife and run this knife straight back and down, and we're just going to go ahead and cut this carrot into a few strips, maybe like into thirds lengthwise, or maybe into fourths lengthwise. Got 3. Let's see if we can go for 4. Alright, so now that we got this into fourths lengthwise, let's go ahead and separate this out. And now this is going to be really easy to juice. Look how thin it is in the TWN. Look at that. We're going to put that in there. And literally, we could take that pusher and we can easily push the carrot into the TWN30S without much force. So that's a tip for you guys if you guys don't want to like muscle the carrots through the TWN30S. I think you saw me pretty much juice a little bit of everything. It's juicing great. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead, speed this up for you guys. You guys can see me juice all this stuff as I rotate and juice all my produce in the TWN30R for red. Alright, so it looks like I'm about full on my juice catch container. We're going to go ahead and turn this machine off. It's actually done an amazing job. It does take a little bit more time to use since you have to push each item through, but when you do take the time to do that in the Omega TWN30S, you will be rewarded. I don't know if I could show you guys this, but look at this pulp here. We could pick this pulp up and I could squeeze it. I could feel a little bit of juice squeezing out 1, 2, 3 drips. This is some of the driest pulp that I've seen on any juicer. This machine blows away things like the single auger styles in yield when juicing hard vegetables as well as the leafy greens and some fruits like I am today, like hands down. Alright, let's see here. The catch screen really helped to separate out some of the extra foam and pulp. I didn't have to shake it down actually all too much, so that was pretty good. Let's see, we're just going to go ahead and set this on top of here for now. And we're going to go ahead and get a glass and pour out some of this fresh made juice made in the TWN30. Alright, let's see. Alright, look at that consistency. I'm not seeing any pulp or any large bits of anything. Nice large glass of green juice. This would be excellent for your breakfast. Alright. Salud to your health. That's a really good green juice. I'm getting a little bit of like grit and pulp in there, but it's pretty pulp free after we strained it. If you did want to get a finer strain, sieve to strain it out further, you could. But this juice is quite acceptable. Now, if you guys are making this recipe, I would encourage you guys to use less greens and more of the other stuff. This stuff is pretty strong, but the greens were 100% out of my garden today. What I'd like to do next for you guys is actually show you guys the all-new blank cone attachment. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned up. We'll come back at you and show you guys how you guys can make a frozen fruit sorbet as well as peanut butter in the Omega TWN30 with this new attachment that is now included with all the machines we're selling at discountjuicers.com. So I got the juicer all cleaned up. We're reset up. We actually have the blank screen set up in there, so that's basically the blank has no holes in it, not the fine holes nor the coarse holes. And that's that new attachment that's now coming with the Omega TWN30S or R. And after you get the juicer all set up, the one thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and remember to remove, very important, the outlet adjusting knob. This will not be needed and can damage your machine if you leave it in when trying to use the blank plate or homogenizing attachment. Once you do that, we're ready to process food. And what we're going to do today, first, we're going to go ahead and process some frozen fruit. So I have 2 frozen bananas and a whole bunch of frozen organic strawberries. I do like to buy like organic fresh strawberries and organic bananas when they're on sale or clearance even. I think the organic strawberries were like $1 a pound for me, and the organic bananas, I probably got these for 69 cents a pound. And if you wait until they're spotted up and they put them in a bag, they even sell them for usually half price or whatever. And that's the best time to buy them, because when they're spotted up, that's when you want to peel them and freeze them, because they're at the peak of their sugar level, which means you will have a lot more delicious tasting banana ice cream made with 100% fruit. So technically it's a sorbet. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started, show you guys how easy it is. Turn this machine on. We're going to go ahead and first put in a strawberry, see how that does. Push that into the machine. Mush it right up. Now, one of the things that might help you guys out is, when you take the food out of your freezer, you're going to want to let it like thaw out for a few minutes. I did not do that, so that's going to mean pushing is going to be a little bit harder for me. As you guys can see, we got the strawberry sorbet coming out of the front of the machine here. Let's go ahead and now use some banana. Normally I like to alternate, like a little banana, a little bit of strawberry, a little banana, a little bit of strawberry for best results. So here we go. There's a piece of banana. The banana goes in really easily. Then we got some strawberry. Then we got some banana. Now we got some strawberry. Oh, it's a little too big. Push that in there. And look at that, man, it looks like one of those like frozen yogurt machines just coming right out the front. This is working significantly better than some of the vertical single auger juicers I've used to do the same thing. This machine really gets a nice consistency, man. It really breaks it up. Oh man, look at that, really long. Can't wait to eat this stuff, I'm like so hungry. Alright, that one's a little bit too big. Jammed it in there. Yeah, the banana just really makes a nice texture. But yeah, virtually you can use any frozen fruit. Now, if you don't want to freeze your fruit yourself, that's all right. Many places like Trader Joe's, Costco, you know, even Whole Paycheck, Whole Foods, you know, they'll sell frozen fruits. Trader Joe's and Costco tend to be very inexpensive, based on my experience. All right, this is working amazingly well in the Omega TWN. Once again, we're going to go ahead and cut up our banana into little pieces, and then we're going to alternate feeding some strawberry with some banana. Alright, that was the last banana going in there. Frozen banana. This has worked excessively well. I'm quite impressed on how well it's actually worked. It really homogenized or ground up that banana. Maybe even injected a little bit of air, not too much, into the mixture. Go ahead and turn that machine off and look at this stuff. Look at the color on that, man. It's like a pink color. It's like really cool. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and gotta try this stuff. Alright, here's a pure banana, because I put in a few bananas last. Man, I definitely like the Omega TWN for making the banana ice cream, aka sorbet, better than any single auger style juicer. They just don't get this same consistency that the Twin Gears do. Let's go ahead and try a piece of that strawberry banana. Wow. This is absolutely incredible. I had really ripe organic strawberries mixed with really ripe organic bananas, and it's just so sweet. You don't even need to add any kind of sugar. I mean, you could top this with some chopped nuts or whatever you want, but this would make an excellent dessert if you're trying to get away from ice cream. For your kids that you don't want them eating ice cream, they could eat more fresh fruit, fiber and all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my strawberry banana ice cream. We'll come back at you to show you guys how to make peanut butter in the Omega TWN30. Wow, that banana strawberry ice cream was insane. It was so delicious. I ate it all. Anyways, besides making things that are so delicious like the banana strawberry ice cream in the TWN30, you could also make things like nut butters. So to make nut butter, super simple, super easy. We're just going to go ahead and get some roasted peanuts. Use your favorite brand. We're just going to go ahead and put those through the machine, push it in, make sure we got that blank plate installed, and also make sure we got that outlet adjusting knob here with the spring tensioner removed. Very important. I guess without further ado, let's make some nut butter. Now, here's the thing on nut butters, right? The nuts that you're processing need to have a high oil content. If it does not have a high oil content, then the nut butter coming out will not stick together and be like a nut butter that you'd buy at the store. If your nuts have a low oil content, for example, like raw almonds tend to have a low oil content, you'll have to add in some oil, or get some roasted almonds that are generally roasted in oil so they have a high oil content, and they're going to make a lot better butter for you. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and turn this on and see how the TWN30 makes peanut butter. This is kind of like when you go to the health food store, you know, and they got those machines you could press. Those are basically grinders, pretty similar to this. So we're loading up the hopper with a bunch of nuts. Now we're just going to go ahead and simply push this in. Nice and slow. Alright, as you guys can see, we got the nut butter coming out. As we put it in a little bit more, it works a little bit better. Go ahead and put a bit more in there. This machine is grinding up these peanuts and making like a smooth style peanut butter. Let's go ahead and turn that guy off and check out what we got. Now this peanut butter, it's just about spreadable, but if you want it even more spreadable, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it and put it back through there again. It'll process it, grind it up some more, extract more of the oil so it even sticks together, congeals better, and even makes it smoother. So this is the second time through on the nut butters. Now some machines, you know, you'll like on the single auger style machines, I've had to put the nut butter through like 6 times, depending on what kind of nut you're using, you know, high oil content or low oil content, you know, to get a really nice consistency. I think that was when I was processing some almonds. Let's go ahead and turn this baby back on and run that back through again. Now it's definitely coming through a bit more runny. It's sticking together. It's not separating as much. So this is a much finer consistency. I mean, if we did it like one more time, it'd probably be great. But this looks pretty good. This would be way better to add to you know, fresh peanut butter and jelly sandwich than the store-bought, because you know what's going in it. Maybe you can even buy or grow your own peanuts, roast them yourself, and then make your own peanut butter at home in the Omega TWN30. Looks like it did an amazing job. There's like the peanut butter that we made. And you can do this with any nut or seed. Now, if the nut or seed does not have a high oil content, it will not work. And say you were trying to do like sesame seeds, that'd be an interesting one to do. Sesame seeds are so small that most grinders will not grind it up properly. That's why I would recommend something like a food processor or a blender, you know, for the sesame seeds. Flax seeds won't really grind up well either. Maybe I'll have another episode demonstrating using different seeds and nuts inside the TWN30 to see what exactly happens, because I don't know. This blank plate just came out, so I'm just starting to experiment with it now, and I'm just going to have a lot of fun, see what I can do with it. At present time, I really like how it works. It makes a really fine consistency. That was evidenced by the nut butter I just made, and also the sorbets I made also. Now, besides just making the sorbets or ice creams and the nut butters, you can also make baby foods. So whether you want to put, you know, raw carrots through there, it'll grind up the raw carrots, and as it did with, you know, the juicing plate installed, it separates out the juice and the pulp. If you have the blank plate and just put whole carrots through there, it'll mix in the juice and the pulp together just to grind it up to a fine consistency. And it did a pretty good job at grinding things up to a fine consistency, actually, more so than most other juicers I've seen on the market. Now, if you want a really nice consistency, soft, mushy baby food, then you're going to want to go ahead and cook your carrots and then run it through with the blank plate to make, you know, the best texture. Now, I do always encourage you guys to eat a good percentage of raw foods, because the raw foods generally have more phytochemicals, phytonutrients, and vitamins and minerals, including the enzymes. And once you start heating and cooking food, you start damaging some of the very important nutrients, and you lose all the enzymes if you're cooking it too hot. In any case, that is pretty much it. That's the demonstration of the Omega TWN30 today. Let's see, after Omega has now 1 come out with the red version, number 2 has the blank plate, and number 3 has the price at $100 less than the original price, I definitely will say this is a good buy. Now, it will take you some time to process and juice and, you know, put the items through the machine, because you're going into 2 twin gears, and it can take some downward force. So, you know, pre-cut your carrots and other hard root vegetables into smaller pieces. That's going to make feeding a lot easier. If you're doing things like wheatgrass and sprouts, it's going to work great. I generally recommend twin gear machines for people that want to juice roots and greens. By far, this machine is probably one of the best machines for doing roots and greens, and also maintaining and keeping high levels of nutrients in your juice. If you want to juice straight fruits, this is not the machine for you. Be sure to check my past episodes where I have a video on best juicer for juicing fruits, which is the Omega VSJ843. But this machine will do great with juicing hard vegetables, leafy greens, and fruits all in the same juice, like I demonstrated earlier. I'm really looking forward to playing with the TWN30 some more, and be sure to click that subscribe button right down below to be notified of my new and upcoming episodes I have coming out about every 5 to 7 days. I'll be sure to have some videos coming up comparing the TWN30 to other twin gear juicers and other juicers on the market, so you guys could know how this performs, because this is the lowest price point twin gear juicer on the market with warranty in excess of 10 plus years. So that's definitely really good. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to support me and my work so I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. Also be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 450 videos on this YouTube channel comparing and contrasting different juicers and blenders and dehydrators so that you guys can get the right appliance for you, so that you can include more of the beneficial fruits and vegetables in your diet that are unfortunately deficient in most people's diets around the world today. Also be sure to like this video if you liked the demonstration of the Omega TWN30. This will motivate me to make more videos about it in the future. And be sure to share this video with others who are looking for a juicer who you think this might help. So once again, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today for you guys is share with you guys my opinions on the best juicer for juicing fruits. Now, there's some operand words there. That means the important word. And the important word is best. What does best mean to you? So to me, best means highest yield and highest nutrition.